Good afternoon. My name is Steve Needham. I am the Regional Communications Officer for the ILO for the Asia Pacific, based in Bangkok. Great to be here. I'm here today with Rafael Diez de Medina. He is the Chief Statistician and Directorate of Statistics. Great to be with you, Rafael. I got some questions to ask on some very interesting issues. The very first issue I would like to throw at you, labor statistics. Just why are they so important?
Well, labor statistics guide policies. Without sound numbers and figures, we would be blind in terms of accurate policies. So it affects really the well-being of the workers in the at the country level, because we need to guide and to highlight the main issues around the world of work. So I think I would say in a snapshot, this is the importance.
So if you have no statistics, you have nothing, basically.
No, I think we can have guesses, intelligent guesses, but it's not the same. Increasingly, the world is guided by facts and by verified facts, because we want to avoid misinformation and for instance wrong numbers, etc. So we invest a lot in having accurate numbers at the country level, at the global and regional level as well, so that we can provide better, I would say, arguments to our main suggestions on policies or the way ahead, etc.
So these statistics are there to guide policy development, and without the statistics, really, we're just guessing.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
So,
Rafael, just in October last year, the International Conference of Labour Statisticians took place here in Geneva. This is a major event, I understand, hundreds of participants from around the world. What were the main takeaways from that get together?
well, the name can misguide us because it can be thought that it's a conference only. The Conference of Labor Statisticians is a very old. We happen to live 100 years in October. It's one of the oldest mechanisms of setting the main definitions of the word of work, and it's very important for us to to provide them with the strongest arguments to guide particularly the emerging topics in the world of work. Particularly in this one, we had really, as you told me, we have more than 540 participants for 134 countries, plus workers and employers, plus a lot of international organizations who attended this time. It was not only because we lived to be 100 years, but we were tackling a very important topic about informality. And informality, it's very important to all countries in the world, regardless of the state of development. And this is a really change from the past, because informality is something that affects, yes, the more least developed countries, but also the old countries which are prone to have the new forms of work that sometimes are not very, I would say, formal in the sense that we have tried to explain in the past. So this was the reason why it attracted so much attention. But we didn't have only that. We had a lot of other topics. We dealt with the platform employment, which is very important and topical. It's one of the emerging topics. We dealt with labor migration. We dealt with care economy. That is something that it will be evolving afterwards. And we also developed a lot of new resolutions on income-related wages, income-related income, work-related income, sorry. And we also had a lot of room documents where the participants could discuss around the topics. One of them, skills and skills anticipation, all these key issues that you may wonder how statisticians can deal with. Well, we had a wide variety of topics that we covered during these 2 weeks of hard work.
So basically, the outcome of this conference affects the way that labor market statistics are gathered around the world going forward.
That's it. So we will have a strong influence in the way that is defined and produced, how the data will be produced. The countries are the ones who produce the data. We only compile the data, but we support the countries in producing this type of data. So after this conference, we will have new definitions that are in force. And the main key variables in the world of work are usually coming from the ICLS, the International Conference of Labor Statisticians. So whenever you read a headline indicator in the newspapers, behind the scenes, you have the definitions of the ICLS.
The world of labor statistics isn't static, is it? It constantly changes. As at the last conference, you've changed how you measure informality, for example. Going forward, Rafael, what further changes do you see down the road?
Well, there will be major changes in the way we capture information. The new technologies are allowing us to go beyond the official statistics. There are a lot of new developments in terms of AI and how AI is going to impact the way that we capture information in places that we didn't do before. We will have emerging topics, for instance, the platform employment, the platform workers. It's one of the future definitions that we are going to have to present for the next ICLS in 2028. So there will be a special topic that will be on that. Then the care economy will also be subject to a new definition. And of course, the future is how we keep pace with the changes that you mentioned, how we really improve the way that we capture the information. Desirably, now, if we don't have real-time statistics, we are out of this radar. So we need to empower the countries to have that. Ministries of labor, employers, and workers, they need to have the information, but they have also to be aware that they have to invest in information. So that's the future, I think.
Okay. You mentioned the care economy. I think we all know the care economy is going to, it's already important, but it's going to get more and more important as populations age around the world. It's being discussed at the International Labour Conference this time around. Just how can labour statistics support these discussions on care work?
Well, in the ILO, we have had some attempts to agree at the political level on standard setting on care economy. And we need to focus more our attention on that. Why? Because, of course, after COVID, it was very obvious that we needed to focus more. But even beyond that, the ILO has been broadening the scope of what we called employment in the past. And now we talk about work. Work means that it's not only paid work, but also unpaid work. And care economy, you have workers in the care economy who are paid and those who are not paid. So there are different situations that we have to take advantage of that and to be very careful in providing the countries with guidance to better measure this. So because of that, we think that having better definitions will help the process of standard setting. And this is the reason why in this ICLS, ILC, the last international conference of labor conference, there has been a discussion on care economy, and this discussion will be guided by the definitions. Because if we talk about the concepts of what is care work, it's not so easy when you really want to define what it is. Statisticians are a bit boring, but we try to get the accurate definition so that afterwards discussions are easier. And I think this is what we have been doing in the last ICLS. We have started the process, but in 2028, we will have a new standard on that, a new definition adopted by workers, employers, and governments.
Excellent. Rafael, moving to a slightly different issue, we talk about having statistics. What happens when there are no statistics? How can the ILO fill those gaps?
Well, the issue is that increasingly, unfortunately, countries are producing more and more statistics. The SDG process, for instance, the Sustainable Development Goals, had helped about that because countries are more aware that they need to produce data. But still, we have a lot of differences and many areas in the world are still falling behind. And when we don't have that, what we do is an active support that we try to accompany this process at the country level with capacity building, with training, with even going to the national statistical agencies, but also ministries of labor, getting them on board at least what should be done to do that. In case that we don't have anything at all, we try to do what we call projects and modelings. So we model, we establish, we have actually new models, econometric models that are behavioral models, etc., that we can estimate somehow the main figures. But of course, desirable, we need to have concrete data from each country. It's an impossible task. No, I think it's possible. And I think I am very hopeful that for the near future, we can see many, many other countries joining this effort.
Rafael, thanks so much for this. It's a fascinating subject and has obviously underpins so much of the ILO's work. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us here from the ILC, here with Rafael Diez de Medina from the Department of Statistics. Thank you. Goodbye.